Phil Knight is the co-founder of Nike Incorporated, one of the world's largest suppliers of athletic shoes and apparel. He had served as the chairman and chief executive officer of the company in the past. Dubbed the most powerful person in sports by Sports Illustrated, Knight is neither a sportsman nor the owner of a sports team, but his influence has been tremendous. Today, we will dive deep into his life, career, success, and motivations. He was born as Philippe Hampson Knight on February 24, 1938, as the son of lawyer turned newspaper publisher William W. Knight and his wife Lotta. His father was a domineering though caring person who encouraged his son to push his limits. He attended Cleveland High School in Portland. He loved running from a young age, and he was a key member of the track team. He went to the University of Oregon in Eugene, where he continued running. There, he met the legendary track coach Bill Bowerman, under whom he trained as a middle-distance runner. Eventually, Knight struck up a deep and meaningful friendship with Bowerman. He graduated with a journalism degree in 1959. Knight was confused about his future, even after his graduation, and unsure of what he actually wanted to do. He enlisted in the army and completed a year of service. He decided to enroll in the Graduate School of Business at Stanford University. One of the courses he studied was Frank Schallenberger's small business class, which he found very interesting. While working on an assignment in which the students had to invent a new business, Knight came up with a blueprint for a business dealing in sports shoes. He wrote a paper titled, "Can Japanese Sports Shoes Do to German Sports Shoes What Japanese Cameras Did to German Cameras?" and realized that the purpose of his life was to create a business dealing in shoes. He started his business career by embarking on a trip around the world following his graduation. He visited Japan in November 1962, where he discovered the Tiger brand running shoes, which were manufactured by Onitsuka Company. Knight was highly impressed by the quality and low cost of the shoes, and quickly secured a distribution contract with the company. On his return, he took up a job in a Portland-based accounting firm, while working on his business plan alongside. He collaborated with his former coach, Bowerman, to form a partnership to distribute the shoes in America. In 1964, they each put up $500 to start what would become Nike, then called Blue Ribbon Sports. The duo worked hard to make the business grow, and over the next few years, they opened retail stores in Santa Monica, California, and Eugene, Oregon. The company performed well, and by the late 1960s, it was generating good profits. Knight and Bowerman faced some disagreements regarding the contract with Onitsuka. In 1971, they started their own company. Jeff Johnson, a friend of Knight and an employee of Blue Ribbon Sports, suggested naming the new company Nike, after the Greek winged goddess of victory. As a former athlete, Knight aspired to design products that the world's top athletes would want to use. He made acquaintances with Olympic track athletes, such as the long-distance runner Steve Prefontaine, hoping he would influence others to try his products. Nike's model of shoe, the Cortez, debuted at the 1972 Olympic trials and proved to be highly profitable. From the start, Nike's shoes sported their own look and attitude. Nike was at the cutting edge of workout shoe technology in the mid-1970s. Major sports stars demanded major compensation for wearing their brand. The company's profits grew steadily over the ensuing years, and by 1980, Nike had captured one half of the athletic shoe market. Knight offered an endorsement deal to the tennis superstar John McEnroe, and this proved to be one of the strongest marketing moves by Nike. After McEnroe hurt his ankle, he started wearing a particular Nike model, and the sales of that model surged in the months to come. Nike saw steady growth throughout the 1980s and the 1990s. The company's escalating fame allowed Knight to rope in more world-famous sportspeople like Michael Jordan, Andre Agassi, Charles Barkley, and Tiger Woods for endorsements. Along with tremendous success, Knight also came under the scrutiny of human rights groups over how Nike treated its workers in Asian countries. Nike was accused of paying very low wages to its Asian workers, and there were also accusations of corporal punishment and sexual harassment in Nike facilities. In spite of criticisms, Nike remained one of the world's largest shoemakers. In the 1990s, Nike expanded its business and branched out into hockey, golf, and soccer apparel. Their aggressive expansion strategy paid off, and the company enjoyed more than $10 billion in yearly sales before 1999. Knight was said to be not so fond of advertising, yet slogans such as "Just Do It" and images such as that of Michael Jordan soaring through the air cemented Nike's place in the industry. Nike advertisements portrayed great athletes as objects worthy of worship, but also implied that everyone has greatness within themselves. The global power of these messages was such that in 2003, Nike's international sales exceeded its US revenues for the first time in the company's history, with more than 1,000 stores worldwide. Phil Knight, who is 83 years old and is living in Hillsboro, Oregon, United States. Knight is married and his second son Travis is a Nike board member. His current net worth is at $43.3 billion. Knight and his family owned around 230 million shares via the holding firm Swoosh. In his own person, Philip Knight holds 35 million more shares, according to a filing from October 2020. Through trusts and its subsidiaries, his son Travis Knight has access to around 41 million shares. Shares owned by the charity foundation of Knight are not included. Here are some career lessons to learn from the co-founder of Nike. Surround yourself with the right group of people and value your team. Ideas are cheap. Execution is all that matters. Be patient. It takes time. Target your end consumer. Don't wish for your problems to go away, because they never will. As the co-founder and former CEO of Nike Incorporated, Knight built the company into one of the most successful and iconic brands in the world, turning a business into a culture and working with extreme focus. Phil Knight is not only a leader because he has the capability to build a globally respected brand, but also because he changed the cultural landscape of America by making Nike a company that pushes the boundaries of retail apparel. And that's a wrap for today. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content.
The blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.